Welcome everybody, thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to just come to a comfortable seat, close off the eyes and begin to settle into the body. Ground down through the sit bones, lengthen through the spine. Try not to hold any tension. And just bring awareness to the breath. Notice how you're feeling this morning and what your body needs today. Begin to lengthen the inhale from the bottom of the belly, drawing the breath up through the rib cage to the collarbone, and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Do two more. Today's practice, we're going to focus on a full body flow. We're going to open up the whole body and do some strengthening postures. These postures can be quite challenging at times, but I feel that when we focus on our body's capabilities and inner strength and really harness that, these are things that can be transferred to our everyday lives when we face challenges, to stay focused mentally and physically is what helps us on and off the mat. Now bringing the left hand into Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb connected. Bring the index finger and middle finger to the third eye and use the ring finger and thumb of the right hand. And we're going to do 3 rounds of alternate nostril breathing. So inhale through both, exhale through both. Close off the right, inhale through left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale fully left. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. Last round, inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. Bring the hands to the heart center, rubbing the hands together. Place the palms over the eyes. Open the eyes inside. And release. We're going to begin today lying down on our backs. So if you just make your way onto the mat, taking the legs out long, feet together, palms facing up at the side of the body. Settle in, make any adjustments you need to find a comfortable position. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, stretching the toes away from the body, reaching the fingers away from the head. Feel that lengthening through the torso. And exhale to release the legs and bring the arms back down alongside the body. Inhale to reach up and overhead, pointing the toes, stretching the fingers. And exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, Reaching above the head, bringing the palms to touch this time, keeping the hands where they are. Take both heels over to the right corner of the mat and move the right shoulder to the edge of the mat and reach the hands away in prayer in banana. Feeling that stretch all through the left side of the body. Last breath here. Moving the feet back through the centre and the shoulders and taking it over to the left side, both heels to the left corner and left shoulder to the edge of the mat, reaching through the fingers. Stretching out through the right side, beginning to open everything up. Coming back through the centre of the mat. Bring both knees into the chest, hugging the knees tightly, just begin to rock side to side, massaging that lower back, lengthening through the back of the neck by tucking the chin. Place the hands on the knees and begin to circle the knees outwards and back into the chest. Really beginning to feel into the hips here. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. No tension in the face. And the opposite, taking them out the other way and back in towards the centre. Bring both knees back to stillness, hugging the right knee into the chest. Take the left leg out long, planting the heel down into the mat of the left leg, nice and active. And squeeze that knee in towards the chest. Maybe begin to move the right knee over towards the underarm. Just feeling into the glute and the outer edge of the hip that little bit more than the groin. Take any movement that feels good for you here. Circling the right knee or bouncing the right knee towards the underarm. Really lengthen the inhale and exhale here. Now change sides, taking the right leg out, pushing the right heel down so you're active through the right side and drawing the left knee into the chest. Move the left knee just over towards the underarm, just to deepen that stretch. Release the left leg out long and bring the right leg back in, taking hold of the hamstring this time. Take the right foot up towards the ceiling, holding onto the back of the hamstring and just circle the ankles in one direction. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the opposite. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the foot to stillness and then reach the heel up towards the ceiling, really pushing that heel away, and then point the toes. And just continue to point and flex that foot, really warming into the ankle. Bring the foot to stillness. Inhale, point the toe towards the ceiling, and exhale, drop the foot towards the face and just move the hamstring. Put some pressure on the back of the hamstring, moving the thigh in towards the abdomen and the chest. Really feeling that stretch along the back of the hamstring. Stay softened through the shoulders. Inhale to point the toe up and exhale to release the foot and deepen the stretch as much as you can. For one more breath. And release the right leg down, taking hold of the back of the left hamstring and send that foot up towards the ceiling. Right heel press down into the mat, really nice and relaxed through the shoulders and the face, and just circle the ankle. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the opposite way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now just flex the foot and point the toes up towards the ceiling. Bringing that foot to stillness. Inhale to point the toe towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop the foot, squeeze onto the back of that thigh and move it in towards the abdomen and the chest. Inhale to point and exhale to deepen the stretch. Release the tension from the face and harness the deep inhale and exhale. Take the pressure off the back of the thigh, moving the right knee back in towards the chest. Take hold of the outer edges of the feet in happy baby and sway side to side. Applying as much pressure as you need to feel that stretch through the back of the glutes, the outer hips. Really enjoy this full opening through the pelvis. Bringing the knees back in towards the chest. We're going to roll up and make our way to tabletop. Checking your alignment when you arrive in tabletop, spreading the fingers nice and wide, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. And we're just going to bring some movement backwards and forwards, beginning to warm up the wrists. Just send the sit bones backwards and move the chest just slightly beyond the hands. Pressing into the fingertips and the juicy part of the thumb here. Now take the hands to face the long edges of the mat. And again, just rock side to side, warming up the wrists from every angle. Now turn the fingers in to face the body, and it's just a very small movement here, backwards and forwards, stretching the underneath of the arms and the wrists. Now turn the hands to face front, fingers spread nice and wide, lengthen through the neck, bump the hips to the right, and then take the gaze as far back as you can, looking at the right side of the hip. Continuing to open up everything. Inhale, move back through center, and exhale, bumping the hips over to the left, looking back at the left hip. Strong through the hands. Inhale back through centre and exhale over to the right. Continue to move with your own breath here. We'll do 2 more each side. Right side, left side, last one now, right side and left side. Coming back to a neutral position, checking your alignment, and we're going to move into cat and cow. Inhale, strong through the hands, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, sending the sit bones up towards the ceiling, and exhale, moving from the hips, rounding through the spine, dropping the crown. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, round through the spine. 4 more. 2, 3, and 4. Coming back to a neutral spine, nice and strong through the hands here, pressing down into the shins and the soles of the feet. Inhale, left foot back, right arm forward, pointing away through the toes. Try and stay as neutral through the spine as you can by pressing into the left hand, right foot. And release and take it to the other side. Inhale, pointing the toes, reaching in opposite directions, and release. Keep moving with your own breath, reaching out through the fingers and the toes. Really start to switch the core on here to help with stability when you're reaching away. Gaze point directly down at the mat. Last one each side. Now bringing it back to a neutral tabletop position, pressing into the hands, strong through the arms. Inhale, reaching that right foot back behind you, and exhale, knee to nose, round through the spine, pushing into the hands. Pause switched on, lengthen through the neck when you reach away. Exhale, round through the spine. 3, 2, and 1. Releasing it back down. Just circle the wrists again here. Press into the fingertips and the opposite way. Coming back to neutral, we'll take it to the left side. Inhale, reach the left toes away. Exhale, round through the spine, knee to nose. 4, 3, 2, last one. Release that leg down and reset in tabletop. Inhale, take the right foot behind, step the right foot through to the front in runner's lunge, coming up onto the fingertips, shoulders back and away, chin parallel with the floor. Close off the eyes and really feel into this pose. 2 more breaths here. Pressing into the right foot, peel the chest away from the thigh, lifting up into crescent lunge, bringing the hands up above the head like you're holding a beach ball, gaze point still ahead, but reaching through the fingertips. Bring the hands to touch, looking up at the hands now. Inhale here and exhale, opening into a right side twist, arms at shoulder height, looking back at the right hand. Really twisting from the waist, strong pushing into that front foot. Use the core for stability. Take the gaze down towards the mat, dropping the left hand down onto the mat. Begin to circle that right arm forward. Gaze down at the mat. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the opposite way. And release both hands down to the mat. Pressing into the hands, lifting the chest, step the right foot back into tabletop, and we'll do the opposite side. Spread the fingers nice and wide, reaching that left foot behind you, and then stepping all the way through to the front into runner's lunge, shoulders back and away, up on the fingertips, close off the eyes. Last breath here. Use the core, press into the left foot, peel the chest and heart away from the thigh. Reach the hands up and overhead like you're holding a beach ball. Gaze point ahead. Bring the palms to touch, look up at the hands, inhale here, and exhale, opening to a left side twist, looking back at the left hand. Stay nice and lengthened through the spine. Gaze point back down at the mat, right hand planted onto the floor, and circle the left arm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the opposite. Last one. And release. Release the hands to the mat, press into the hands, lift the chest, step back into tabletop. Set your alignment up nice and strong through the hands. Tuck the toes and push back, lifting the hips into downward facing dog. Find some movement through the back of the legs here, pedaling the feet. Offer the crown of the head down to the mat, lengthen through the spine. Really opening through the shoulders here. Bringing the feet to stillness. Crown of the head towards the mat, sit bones up towards the ceiling, and heels pressing down towards the mat. Inhale, sweep that right leg up, bend the right knee, bring the heel as close to the glutes as you can, and circle the right knee forwards. 3, 2, 1, and the opposite direction. 3, 2, 1, and release that right leg down and pedal. Strong through the hands, strong through the arms here. Coming back to stillness, find length through the back body. Inhale, sweep the left leg up towards the ceiling. Bring that heel in towards the glute and circle the knee. 3, 2, 1, and the opposite. 3, 2, 1. Release that left foot down. Coming back into a nice lengthened down dog. Inhale, roll onto the toes, moving forward, drop the hips into upward facing dog. Lift the chin here, strong through the hands. Pushing back with the hips into downward facing dog. 2 more. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Last one. Really use the core to lift back into downward facing dog. Now drop the knees to the mat. Strong through the arms. Move the right foot in line with the right hip into gate pose. Pressing into the hands and lifting up. Bring the hands to the hips. Pushing into the outer edge of the right foot here. Shoulders back and away. Really lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, moving into a right side stretch. Right hand to the right shin. And reach the left hand up and overhead, looking up at the ceiling. Really opening up through the sides. Last breath. Really allow the body to soften into this stretch. Use the core, inhaling back up to centre and exhale, opening back into a right side twist. Arms at shoulder height, looking back at the right hand. Find that lengthened breath once more. Calm the body, calm the mind. Move back through centre, plant both hands back down onto the mat, sweep that right leg back into tabletop position and circle backwards and forwards with the hips here in both directions. Roll through the spine, really allow the body to release. Then come back to tabletop. Long through the back of the neck, gaze towards the top of the mat. Sweep the left leg in line with the hip. Pushing from the hands, lifting with the core, hands to hips. Roll the shoulders back and away. In gate. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach through the fingertips and exhale, left side stretch. Move that hand down the left shin and reach the right fingertips away. Really open up through the right side, pushing into the outer edge of the left foot. Inhale, hands back up and overhead, and exhale, opening into a left side twist. Looking back at the left hand. Plant both hands back down onto the mat and move the left foot back into tabletop position. Strong through the hands here. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Feel the connection to your breath and to your body. Tuck the toes, lifting from the hips, pushing into the hands, back into downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Gazing towards the top of the thighs or the belly. Nice and strong through the hands. Inhale to sweep the right leg up, point the toes away, staying strong through both hands, rolling onto the left toes and moving the right knee behind the right wrist into pigeon pose. Glancing back at the left leg, making sure the foot is in line with the hip. Close off the eyes here. Make any movements, maybe side to side with the hips, softening and releasing into pigeon. Close off the eyes. Lift the chest towards the ceiling, but begin to soften through the elbows, letting your pelvis release down to the mat. Close off the eyes, connect to that inhale and exhale. If it feels available to you, maybe move down onto your elbows with the hands in line with the elbows, fingers spread nice and wide. Moving that left knee backwards away from the body, creating some space for the hips to move down. Maybe stack the hands on top of each other, rest the forehead on the hands in sleeping pigeon, or just offer the forehead down to the mat, whatever feels good for you. Just allow your body to really let go in pigeon. You are strong and you are capable. Two more breaths here. Slide the hands back alongside the chest. Tuck the left toes, move that left knee in towards the hips, pressing into the hands, lift that right leg back up into three-legged dog, point the toes away and release to the mat. And pedal. Resetting in downward dog before we do the left side. Bringing the feet to stillness. Inhaling and exhaling here fully. Next inhale, sweep the left leg up towards the ceiling, rolling on the right toes, left knee behind the left wrist. Move the right knee away from the hips, flattening the foot, checking the alignment of the right leg. And soften it into the elbows with the chest lifted, chin parallel with the floor. Move the hips side to side. Really let go here. And use the breath to soften into pigeon. Maybe moving onto the elbows. Pausing here. Stack the hands or full sleeping pigeon, whatever feels good for you. Inhaling and exhaling. Last breath. Hands alongside the chest, strong into the arms, lift that chest, tuck the right toes, move the right knee in, push into the hands, left leg back into three-legged dog, and release that foot down. Drop the knees to the mat, take the knees to the outer edges of the mat, push the sit bones back in wide-legged child's pose, and release the chest and the forehead down to the mat. Inhaling fully here and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Release and let go. Three more breaths here. Move the hands back in towards the body. Seated position with the legs out long in front. And we're going to move into shoelace. Roll the shoulders back and away. Separate the sit bones so you're nice and lengthened through the back body. Press down into the hands to create length, chin parallel. Close off the eyes, feet flex towards the face. Nice and strong. Move the right, bend the right knee and place the right foot over to the left hip. So your right knee is just above your left knee. And then sweep that left foot alongside the right hip. Sometimes helps to move forward onto the hands to lock the knees into place. You want to be feeling quite even so you're not tilted. If you do feel like you're leaning to the left, perhaps use a cushion under the right hip or a block. Press down into the hands again to create length through the back body. Bring the arms in front, take the right arm under, left arm over. Bringing the palms to touch, lift the elbows up in front of the chin and feel that opening through the back of the shoulders with eagle arms here. Close off the eyes. Feeling the stretch through the right glutes and the shoulders. Release the eagle arms, shake out the arms, releasing that tension. Now bring the right arm over to the middle of the back, so the palm is in the middle of the back and the left arm under. Try and clasp the fingers together or just send them in that direction, pushing down into the sit bones, lengthening through the back body. Tilting the chest up towards the ceiling, but keep the chin parallel. Close off the eyes again. And really notice what's happening for you here. Where are you feeling the stretching? Last breath here. Release the arms, unravel the legs and take them back out in front. Leaning onto the hands, shake the legs out, shake the arms out. Before we do the left side. Separate the sit bones, feet together. Right knee across the left knee, just above, and then sweeping that right foot round so it's alongside the hips. Both feet are alongside the hips. Pressing down into the mat, lengthening through the back body, lifting through the crown. Bring the arms out in front, left arm under this time, palms to touch, lift the elbows in front of the chin, feel that opening across the shoulders. Strong through the core. Two more breaths here. And release. Shake the arms out. Well done. This time, left arm over to the centre of the back, right hand under, lengthen through the spine, fingers towards each other, elbows in opposite directions. Engage the core, lift through the crown. Last breath. And release the arms, release the legs, and shake the legs and the arms out. Plant the feet onto the floor, knees bent, and we'll just do some windscreen wipers, dropping the knees to one side and then the other. Opening out through the hips, releasing all that tension. Two more each side. Now we're going to move into boat pose. So separate the sit bones, bring the feet in towards the body, lengthen through the back, lift the crown of the head. Inhale and lift the feet, begin to move the body backwards, just wanting to keep the nice straight line from the tailbone to the crown. Stay here, maybe holding onto the back of the knees, or release the hands out in front, slowly move the body away from the thighs, reaching the feet away. Don't forget to breathe here. Really engage the core, pulling that navel through to the spine, nice and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop the feet back to the mat. Squeeze the knees and put the forehead onto the knee. Inhale and exhale, sighing it out. Letting go. Release the knees, and we're going to make our way back down onto the mats now. Coming to a comfortable position. Separate the shoulders, make any adjustments you need. Feet together. Arms facing upwards at the side of the body. We're going to revisit that full body stretch. Inhale, toes away, reach through the fingertips. And exhale, release. One more. Inhale, reach through the fingers, stretching it all out, and release. Bend the knees, bring the heels in towards the glutes. Separate the shoulders, tuck the chin to chest. Pushing the lower back here into the mat. Lift the feet so the knees stay bent, so the knees are stacked above the hips. And we're just going to send alternate legs down, down to the mat, and just toe tap, pushing the lower back into the mat, engaging that core the whole time, nice and strong through the core. Just continue to tap alternate toes onto the mat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Sighing it out through the mouth. We're going to do one more round of those. So bringing the knees back above the hips, pushing the lower back, squeezing the navel through to the spine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bringing the knees back in. Really good for firing up the core. Hugging onto the knees and just let everything release. Now bringing the hands to the back of the head, keeping the knees hugged into the chest. And we're going to lift the head, supporting the back of the neck with the thumbs. We're going to move into yogic bicycle, so it's opposite arm to opposite knee, reaching the other leg out in front. We're going to do 20 of these. 15, 14, 13, push the lower back into the mat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Hug the knees into the chest. You've done really well. Really deep inhales and exhales. I'm going to end today's practice by lifting up into shoulder stand. So either rock and roll or just lift straight up into shoulder stand, supporting the lower back, moving the elbows in towards the midline of the back, reaching through the toes, close off the eyes, and just allow everything to happen on its own. Use the core, use the glutes, your body knows what to do here. Trust in your own body. Holding here for 2 more breaths. If it feels available, drop the feet behind you into plough, tucking the toes, straightening through the back of the legs. Reach the hands back to the feet and roll really slowly. Release the hands, release the feet. Full body stretch here. Our final pose today will be a seated forward fold before we move into Shavasana. Separate the sit bones, find length through the spine. Flex the feet towards the face. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, keeping the spine as straight as possible, moving that crown of the head towards the feet. Micro bend in the knees if you need to here. And inhale and exhale, soften the chest down towards the thighs. Just let your body unfurl. Don't force anything, stay at your edge. Inhale, lengthen through the back body, and exhale, release. Last breath in. And slide the hands back towards the hips. And please make your way into Shavasana. Make any adjustments to your body. Really release your whole practice. You've done amazing. Allow the feet to fall naturally. Separate the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin to the chest. Recognize how our bodies just do what we ask them to. It's often our mind that says no. When we release the mind and still the thoughts, our body shows its power. So now release the weight of the heels down into the mat. Feel the breeze at the front of the feet, the shins, the knees and the thighs. As the calves and the hamstrings and glutes melt down into the mat, releasing all of the tension from the body. Allow the back body, the arms and the shoulders to soften. Fingers feel furled without any effort at all. Releasing the neck and the jaw. Noticing the skin on the face feels almost fluid. The back of the head fully supported by the mat. Bring your attention to the third eye. Inhale into the third eye and exhale and release through the third eye. Keep your attention on the third eye for the next few minutes as your body releases. Begin to lengthen the inhale from the bottom of the belly. Exhale slowly and fully through the nose. Whenever you feel ready, roll onto your right side and pause. Pressing into the left hand, slowly return to a comfortable seat. And let's seal our practice. Om. Shanti. 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 Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.